Ulasca and Corlett. Taoiseach, we are facing a real crisis in the nursing home sector because already this year 16 private nursing homes have closed, 450 beds are gone. And unfortunately, too many owners are at their wits' end reassessing their current financial position. Certainly, the escalation in the cost of energy and the cost of living is a factor, but the underlying cause is the fact that the Fair Deal funding model is not fit for purpose. And Taoiseach, this is not something we're just discovering now. It has been flagged time and time again in many different reports. 2 from HICWA, 1 from the Controller and Auditor General, 1 from the Department of Health and the Ombudsman. And just to quote a few lines from the most recent HICWA report, it says HICWA believes that the closure of small nursing homes should be considered in the context of the loss of a particular model of care and not just in terms of bed numbers. Smaller nursing homes that are embedded in the local community offer person-centred care in a very homely environment. Their closure sometimes means that older people in need of residential care have to travel further in order to receive care. This has a knock-on effect for residents, particularly in terms of visitors, social activities and links to their preferred GP or pharmacy. Taoiseach, the Fair Deal model is structured so that private nursing homes receive in the region of €600 less per person per week, and that's an incredible difference. In January 22, the average fee payable under Fair Deal for HSE nursing homes was €1,674 per person per week. For private and voluntary nursing homes, €1,047 per person per week. And I know when I raised this with the Taoiseach before, he suggested that public nursing homes often deal with people who have more complex care needs. And while this may have some validity in quite a restricted number of cases, it is not the universal situation and cannot explain the huge difference in payments between private and public nursing homes. There needs to be an urgent review of the pricing model, Taoiseach. And it's also important to remember that nursing homes are a vital link in our health services at all times, but most especially now when our acute healthcare system is already under such pressure. It makes no sense that we are allowing nursing homes to close when our acute hospitals have ever-lengthening waiting lists and people waiting on trolleys and ED. You can fix this, Taoiseach. You can fix it almost overnight. Put in place a sustainable, fair deal funding model, because nursing homes are a vital link in the healthcare chain, and that chain is at breaking point.
Could I first of all say that there's been huge expansion in the nursing home programme over the years, and particularly in terms of the nursing home support programme. About 80% of all nursing homes are private, 20% are state or under the HSE, the community nursing units, as we would call them. And the first point I would make is that the state is allocating about €1.4 billion a year, €1.4 billion a year to support about 22,000 nursing home residents. Now, that's been a strong increase over the last 2 years in particular. And during COVID-19, an additional €144 million was allocated to nursing homes. That cannot be dismissed. That was a significant intervention by the state, correctly in my view, to underpin nursing homes in respect of the challenges that COVID-19 undoubtedly presented to many, many nursing homes. And all of you know the details of that intervention. In terms of patients in community nursing, or residents, sorry, in community nursing units, the cases are more complex. I don't think we should dismiss the difference. They are more complex by definition. There are more staff in the community nursing units. That said, we acknowledge the issues and the challenges, because the private nursing home sector itself is going through some change, in the sense that larger organisations are coming in terms of financial underpinning of larger nursing homes. The smaller nursing homes are feeling the pressure. Community-based nursing homes feeling the pressure as well. That's acknowledged, and we accept that. And that is why a very significant package is being discussed between, and will be implemented now and announced in the next while. It's imminent, the announcement, in terms of a package for nursing homes to deal with the inflationary cost increases that nursing homes are experiencing, and very substantial funding has been made available to the Minister Butler to do that. Those discussions have been taking place with the nursing home organisations, and that will help to deal with the inflationary pressures that nursing homes are undoubtedly facing, and the temporary assistance payment scheme is continuing to the end of the year. The pricing mechanism, that is also the subject matter. As you know, there's been a number of reviews in relation to that. That is also the subject matter of negotiations. The NTPF, under legislation that was passed quite a number of years ago, is the body delegated to arbitrate on price for nursing homes. But that is, again, that's imminent as well in terms of an outcome of that, and to get that resolved. And we would acknowledge that needs resolution. But legislation passed in this House has ordained that that be done through an independent mechanism, namely the National Treatment Purchase Fund. There are changes going on in the dynamic within the private nursing home sector, and senior care as well. The allocation to home-based care, that's going to grow. And I think the nature and duration of stay or residency in a nursing home will change as well in the time ahead.
Taoiseach, I heard what you said. There are various initiatives in the pipeline, but 2 nursing homes closed in County Roscommon and 1 in Athlone last week. And the lady was on RTE, so the figures are public knowledge. She said that in her nursing home it was €950 per person per week, but in the local public nursing home it was €1,915 per person per week. Taoiseach, that's not tenable. No private nursing home could survive that black hole in funding provision. You spoke about money given during COVID, and that was most welcome, but we all remember the huge restrictions and challenges, and every cent of that was needed to deal with COVID. It didn't deal with the underlying problem, and that is the funding mechanism over Fair Deal. I hope what I've heard you say is that the initiatives that you are now looking at will begin to deal with that. And finally, the last word to HIQA, their most recent report. HIQA believes that the closure of smaller nursing homes requires urgent attention in order to avoid further closures impacting on the lives of residents, their families and friends. That's from HIQA, Taoiseach. Urgent attention.
Well, as a person who set up HIQA, I do take their guidance seriously, and I think that HIQA has been very effective in increasing standards in this country in health since its initiation back in the early 2000s. And we take their point of view seriously, because we do want to protect, do everything we can to support the smaller nursing homes as well, because they're important in local communities for obvious reasons in terms of proximity to families and so forth. So it is important that we do whatever we can to underpin nursing homes. But I get the sense that since COVID-19, the state underpinning of nursing homes is growing. It was a very significant intervention during COVID, in addition to the nursing home support scheme itself. Now we have a very significant inflationary package coming in before the end of the year to support nursing homes get through the energy crisis. And then thirdly, there's the issue of the pricing arrangements, which are set by the NTPF, in terms of increasing those, or at least having a serious discussion. And there's been a number of reviews undertaken here, so it's not as if people don't know there's work underway. There is, in terms of trying to get the right formula that would make ends meet for the nursing homes concerned.